And
Morning, everyone. Today we will have a very good on our ID number 2023-0197 and 268004 to 2023-0008. And before that, may I invite everyone for the obligation which is live.
For Sidewalk Valley. For contract ID 25BP0153 to be 25BP0157 and 26BP0004 to 26BP0008. Agriculanda, back third. Ludwig Makencio, back vice chairman. Joshua Cortega, back member. Janlin Malvi Cortez, back member. Ariel Cueto, back member. Michael Maari, back PWG member. Lisette S. Dumaraos, back sec member. Janine Fresca, back PWG member. Yopista Arandilla, back sec member. Kurt Kirby Panayo, back PWG member. And yours truly, Maria Corina Mendoza, back PWG member. Thank you po.
Now we will proceed to the reading of one of the practice requirements to be standardized. Their judgment. Good morning. Invitation to be for the following. First one, the Department of Public Works and Highways, Laguna Third District Engineering Office of Pablo City, Laguna, through its bids and awards committee now invites bids for the hereunder works. Contract ID number 25DP0158, name of contract, repair, rehabilitation of classrooms, Felix Amante Senior High School, San Pablo City, Laguna. Contract notation, San Pablo City, Laguna. Scope of works, rehabilitation of school building. Approved budget for the contract, 16,800,000. Source of funds, FY 2025, RA 12116. Extended regular 2025 continuing. Contract duration, 180 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, CND. Cost of cleaning documents, 25,000. Contracts similar to the project shall be those described as follows. The following is the major category of works involved in the contract to be paid. Buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The following are the similar categories of works that shall be considered in the evaluation of the work experience required for the contract to be paid. Buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 6 and above stories. Two, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise Concrete frame casting place piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low rise. Concrete frame casting place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings construction with piles, high rise. Concrete frame, given piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles 16 and above stories. Sixth, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles 1 to 5 stories. Seven, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Buildings construction with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Buildings construction with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, custom place piles, 6 to 15 stories. And buildings construction without piles, medium rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. For the next project, contract ID number 25GP0154, name of contract, repair, rehabilitation of drainage and sidewalk along Maspang Highway with kilometer station 80072, 750 minus 80072 plus 870. Contract location, Palawan, Laguna. Scope of work, repair, rehabilitation of drainage and sidewalk. The approved budget for the contract, 776,800 pesos only. Source of funds, FY 2025 RA 12116, extended regular 2025 continuing. Contract duration, 30 calendar days. Size range, small a. License category, grade/E. Cost of bidding document, 1,000 pesos only. Contracts similar to the project can be those described as follows. The following is the major category of works involved in the contract to be FCN or flood control, construction drainage, closed and open conduits spillway. The following are the similar categories of works that shall be considered in the evaluation of the work experience required for the contract to be RCD or roads construction drainage, reinforced concrete pipe culvert, reinforced concrete box culvert, FCCP, flood control, construction, channel excavation, third, WSL 2 and 3, water supply, level 2 and 3, construction, pipe water in communal / private water point. Fourth, WSL2, water supply level 2, construction, pipe water with communal / solar powered water system. Fifth, WSL3, water supply level 3, construction, private water point / solar powered water system. The third contract, contract ID number 25D0155, name of contract, construction of school building, Margarita Lopez Laurel Memorial School, Barangay San Rafael, San Pablo City, Laguna. Contract location, San Pablo City, Laguna. Scope of works, construction of 4-story, 8 classroom school building, phase 1, 1-story, 1 classroom. Approved budget for the contract, 9,950,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2025 RA 12116 extended regular 2025 continuing. With contract duration of 180 calendar days, size range small b, license category CND, cost of bidding documents 10,000 pesos. Contracts similar to the project. The major category of works is buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. Here under are the similar categories of works: buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 6 and above story. Buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 16 and above story. Third, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, given piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Sixth, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 1 to 5 stories. Seven, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise concrete frame, has increased piles, 6 to 15 stories. And buildings, construction without piles, medium-rise concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. Fourth project, with contract ID number 25PP0156. Name of contract, construction of classrooms, Plaridel Elementary School, Nagcarlan, Laguna. Contract location, Nagcarlan, Laguna. Scope of works, 2 story, 4 classroom. Phase 1, 1 story, 2 classrooms. Approved budget for the contract, 10 million pesos. Source of funds, FY 2025 RA 12116, extended regular 2025 continuing. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Size range small b. License category CND. Cost of bidding documents 10,000 pesos. The major category of works to be considered for the project: buildings, construction without piles, low-rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The following are the similar categories of works. First, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 1 to 5 stories. Next, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Buildings, construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, has in place piles, 6 to 15 stories. And buildings, construction without piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. For the fifth project, the contract ID number 25PP0157, name of contract, construction of classrooms, Victoria Elementary School, Victoria, Laguna. The contract location at Victoria, Laguna. Scope of works, 2 story, 4 classrooms. Phase 1, 1 story, 2 classrooms. Approved budget for the contract, 10 million pesos. Source of funds, FY 2025 RA 12116, extended regular 2025 continuing, contract duration 180 calendar days, size range small b, license category C and D, cost billing documents 10,000 pesos. The major category of works involved in the contract to be bid is buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The following are the similar categories of works. First, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, custom-placed piles, 6 and above stories. Second, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, custom-placed piles, 6 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, custom-placed piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 1 to 5 stories. Next, buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Buildings construction with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 6 to 15 stories. 10. Buildings construction with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, custom placed piles, 6 to 15 stories. And buildings construction without piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. Next, contract ID number 26DP0004, name of contract, FY 2026 DPWH Infrastructure Program, Convergence and Special Support Program or CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program BIP, Multipurpose Buildings / Facilities to Support Services, Construction or Completion of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Barangay Santa Lucia, Nagcarlan, Laguna. With contract location in Nagcarlan, Laguna, scope of works, rehabilitation or completion of multipurpose building, approved budget for the contract, 1,380,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2026 GAA. Contract duration, 90 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. Cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos only. Contracts similar to the project shall be described as follows. For the major category of works, buildings construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The following are the similar categories of works. First, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, custom placed piles, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, custom placed piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, custom placed piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, rivet piles, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, rivet piles, 1 to 5 stories. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings constructed with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Then, buildings constructed with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, custom placed piles, 6 to 15 stories. And lastly, buildings constructed without piles, medium rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. For the next project, the contract ID number 26DD0005, name of contract, FY 2026 DPWH Infrastructure Program, Convergence Special Support Program, CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings slash Facilities Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Barangay Palayan, Nagcarlan, Laguna. In contract location in Nagcarlan, Laguna, scope of works, construction of multipurpose building, covered court, with approved budget for the contract, 4,950,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2026 GAA. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, CND. Cost of filing documents, 5,000 pesos only. The contract similar to the project shall be described as follows. For the major category of works, buildings constructed without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For the similar categories of works, first, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 6 and above stories. Second, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Six, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles 1 to 5 stories. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Buildings construction with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, cast in place piles, 6 to 15 stories. And lastly, buildings construction without piles, medium rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. For the eighth project, you contract ID number 2016-0006. Name of contract, FY 2026 DPWH Infrastructure Program, Convergence Special Support Program, CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Services, Rehabilitation or Completion of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Barangay Bambang, Nagcarlan, Laguna. Contract location in Nagcarlan, Laguna. Scope of works, rehabilitation or completion of multipurpose building. Approved budget for the contract, 1,980,000 pesos. Source of funds, FY 2026 GAA. Contract duration, 90 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category C and D. Cost of filing documents 5,000 pesos only. The major category of works to be used for the evaluation is buildings constructed without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The similar categories of works to be used is first, buildings constructed with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast in place piles, 6 and above stories. Second, buildings construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, cast in place piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, cast in place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings constructed with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings constructed with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Sixth, buildings constructed with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 1 to 5 stories. Next, buildings constructed without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Buildings constructed without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings constructed with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Then, cast and placed piles, buildings constructed with piles, medium-rise, concrete frame, cast and placed piles, 15 stories. And buildings constructed without piles, medium rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. Next, contract ID number 26DP0007. Contract, name of contract, FY 2026 DPWH Infrastructure Program, Convergence and Special Support Program, CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multipurpose buildings or facilities to support services, construction of multipurpose building, covered court, Barangay, Nagcarlan, Laguna. Contract location, Nagcarlan, Laguna. Scope of works, construction of multipurpose building, covered court. Approved budget for the contract, 6,958,710 pesos only. Source of funds, FY 2026 GAA. Contract duration, 150 calendar days. Size range, small B. License category, category C and D. Cost of bidding documents, 10,000 pesos only. For the major category of works to be used, buildings constructed without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. Similar categories of works. First, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, casting place piles, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, casting place piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, casting place piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 1 to 5 stories. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Buildings construction without piles, high-rise, concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Next, buildings construction with piles, medium rise, concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. Next, buildings construction without with piles, medium rise, concrete frames, custom place piles, 6 to 15 stories. And lastly, buildings construction without piles, medium rise, concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. For the last project, we contract ID number 26DP0008 with name of contract FY 2026 DPWH Infrastructure Program, Convergence and Special Support Program, CSSP, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multipurpose buildings, facilities support services, construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Santa Catalina, San Pablo City, Laguna. Contract location, San Pablo City, Laguna. Scope of works, construction of multipurpose building, approved budget for the contract, 7,425,000 pesos only. Source of funds, FY 2026 GAA. Contract duration 150 calendar days. Size range small b. License category CND. Cost of bidding documents 10,000 pesos only. For the major category of works to be used for the evaluation, buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For the similar categories of works, first, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, casting-based piles, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, casting-based piles, 16 and above stories. Third, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, casting-based piles, 1 to 5 stories. Fourth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 6 and above stories. Fifth, buildings, construction with piles, high-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 16 and above stories. Six, buildings, construction with piles, low-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 1 to 5 stories. Next, buildings, construction without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 6 and above stories. Next, buildings, construction with piles, without piles, high-rise concrete frame, 16 and above stories. Buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise concrete frame, driven piles, 6 to 15 stories. 10. Buildings, construction with piles, medium-rise concrete frame, custom-based pile, 6 to 15 stories. And lastly, buildings, construction without piles, medium-rise concrete frame, 6 to 15 stories. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. Prospective bidders should be first registered with and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PICAP with PICAP license category and classification as indicated on the bid data sheet. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of bidding documents. Contractors or applicants who wish to participate in this bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works Application or CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Corteria, Manila, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. The contractor's eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process or SICET and subject to further post-qualification. Information on registration can be obtained from the PRS during working weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at the DPWH website www.dpwh.gov.ph. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act NGPA. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest calculated responsive bidder, LCRB, who was determined as such during the post qualification. The interested bidders may obtain further information from the Department of Public Works and Highways Laguna 3rd District Engineering Office and Pablo City, Laguna, and inspect the billing documents at the address given below during weekdays from Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of billing documents may be acquired by interested bidders on May 1, 2026, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. up to May 21, 2026 at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. from the address below and upon payment of the applicable fee for the billing documents. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PGEX and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than submission of their bids. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Laguna 3rd District Engineering Office, San Pablo City, Laguna, will hold a pre-bid conference, which is happening today on May 8, 2026 at 10 a.m. through video conferencing via Zoom or live stream in YouTube on YouTube channel, which shall be open to prospective bidders. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically or online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bid data sheet. Bids must be duly received by the bank secretariat at the address below for manual submission or at electronic bids underscore Laguna 3 at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission on or before May 21, 2026 at 10 a.m. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the instruction to bidders clause 16. Bid opening shall be on May 21, 2026 at 10 a.m. at DPWH Conference Building, Laguna 3rd District Engineering Office, Margarita Subdivision, Barangay Del Pablo City, Laguna, and through video conferencing via Zoom or stream on YouTube channel name. Bids will be open in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the procurement meeting. Please be informed that the funding for contract ID numbers 26DP0004, 26DP0005, 006, 007, and 26DP0008 is subject to later release under Pizarro program. Hence, the issuance of notice of award or notice to proceed shall be contingent upon the availability of funds. If at the time of the post-qualification procedure, the bank verifies that any of the deficiencies is due to the contractor's fault or negligence pursuant to Section 63.3 of RA number 12009, the procuring entity shall disqualify the contractor from the award without any right to reimburse fees and incidental costs paid for the procurement of infrastructure contract subject to DP. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Laguna 3rd District Engineering Office, San Pablo City, Laguna, reserves the right to reject any and all bids, to declare a failure of bidding, or not to award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 17 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Engineer Alvin A. Caranda, factor person, with telephone number 049-562-8114, local 48842, and to Engineer Jonathan Ovaldan, Head of Bank Secretariat, with telephone number 04956281114 with local 48844, email address at contact.jonathan@tpwh.gov.ph. You may visit the following websites for the downloading of missing documents at www.tpwh.gov.ph and www.philgems.gov.ph, and for the online submission at electronic feeds underscore Laguna at tpwh.gov.ph. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rafael. Uh, do we have any queries, comments, or suggestions? For the important dates, the opening of bids for the projects will be on May 21, 2026. That's all. Thank you again, Mr. Rafael. Do you have any queries, comments, or suggestions from our member and the other please? And there being no more available discuss and clarification to meeting, I carefully adjourn the credit conference and take it as